everybody. Welcome to another edition of Box Seats. I'm your host, Frank Holder. This is the show where we talk about sports with comedians, finding out whether or not they got opinions on this. And sometimes they don't. And when they don't, it's funny, So, let's bring in the show with some of the comedians and let them see what they're talking about. First up, my man Talent. And I don't care what Rodney Perry stays, I'm sticking in my order. T, what's going on, T? How you doing, bro? How's everything?
Everything good, Frank. Almost 100 degrees today, so in the crib, trying to stay out of the bull,
Yeah, what you on that one? The heat, man. This ain't no joke.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm staying in order, so that means that Fig is up next.
What up, man? Hey, listen, it is hot, but I'm grilling today. I don't have a grill. I'm just using the heat from the sun.
There it is. My man Rodney Perry. He's mad he's always third. So there you go. Rodney Perry.
No, not at all, frank. And ain't nobody mad at the order. It's you pretending like it ain't no order.
There ain't no order. I'm gonna mix it up.
Hey, let's go with Talent next. We know.
I don't care what you say, Rodney Perry. I don't care what you say. Business bullies in the building.
Hey, listen, surprisingly, bringing up the rear. Spoiler alert.
Who knew?
Nobody.
We started already.
We're going to wait for Michael Sean to jump in, and we're going to get ready to get the show started. And since Rodney Perry got some funny stuff to say, I'm going to start out with you, Rodney Perry, today's first question, man. You get the first question up, man. Jake Paul said he's done fighting celebrities. He wants to be the light heavyweight champion. And people in the boxing community literally are saying that he possibly can be the lightweight champion because he has the skills to do it. Now, I don't watch boxing like that. I'm waiting for Mike Sean to tell me what he thinks. What do you think? You think he's being done for celebrities? You think he's got the chops to do it, Rodney Perry?
I mean, it's like anything else. If you do it enough, you can become proficient at it. But he's still probably about a decade away from being proficient at it, in my opinion. I mean, the guy has had some success, but all his success is against regular dudes.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a fighter and you fighting a regular guy, you're supposed to whoop his ass. But when you put him in the ring with people that know defense and know how to really fight, they're gonna put them pugilists in his face.
Yeah, that's one thing they will definitely do. The business bully, man, talk to me. Do you think this is all pure a move for him to make obviously a ton of more money because he doesn't want to fight celebrities anymore? Because I think he was making more money fighting celebrities. Don't you think he would? I don't know.
Frank, here's the thing. This dude is just a license to print money at this point. The white people have been waiting for what we don't want to call Jake Paul, which is white Kimbo Slice. This is a backyard fighter, TikTok YouTuber brother who does nothing but get on people's nerves and create viral moments, okay? On top of that, he just signed a multi-million-dollar deal with the WWE. He's not really serious about being a light heavyweight champion, but he wants us to talk about it, so we'll talk about it. His ass is going to do a lightweight schedule. He's going to do SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, and the Royal Rumble, and then make a crap ton of money. That's all he wants to do is make money doing absolutely nothing, which is what he's been doing when his boxing career. But what do I know?
Yeah. Talent, talk to me. What do you even like hearing something like this? Does this even interest the normal person? Like, you're a big bettor too. You bet a lot of things. Do you think people will bet on anything that even has his name attached to it, or they just look at it like
absolutely. He is a prime dude for betting. We can't wait till he get his ass knocked out. You can't wait. When you get these dudes, I don't care what it is, that what we call walk-ons. And they walk on into a sport, especially boxing, that these dudes been training their whole life to do. This guy did 2 YouTube videos, went viral, and said, you know what? Who can I knock out? And he started picking dudes and embarrassing them and winning these fights. So guys like me, I'm going to get the money ready for when he gets his ass knocked out.
Yeah, but Talent, will it be a lot? Will people bet more on him? I'm thinking, will they bet more on him because he's boxing, or is it less because of who he is? I don't even know how that works.
Well, it depends. If he's, like you said, he's trying to be a legit champion. So if he's in the realm of boxing, I think, to be honest with you, he makes less. I think the celebrity boxing is where the bag is at. Right. Because when you grab those guys that have some notoriety, some celebrity, that people never seen them fight, they'll pay extra just to see him fight.
Right.
But if you fight a guy who's already been fighting, he's 35-10, and he's the #1 contender, all that, you're just gonna get the boxing audience.
Mm-hmm.
When you get that worldly audience, which is that big paper, that big bag, is when he just calls somebody out of left field, and people are like, "Ooh, why he wake him up?" You know what I mean? Like you said, God bless the dead. But like, say if Kimbo Slice was alive,
right,
and he called out Kimbo Slice, oh, that's a bag.
Right. Fig, check this out. At the end of the day, I was thinking he was trying to make this news because my man Le'Veon Bell said he's taking a year off to box. So I thought it was going to line up with Le'Veon Bell and Jake Paul. I thought that's where it was going. But I don't even know. I mean, when you hear Le'Veon Bell retired from boxing, retired from the NFL for a year, and Jake Paul says he wants to fight seriously, what's your whole thought process from here about this, Fig?
I'll tell you like this. I think Jake Paul's biggest competition is going to be Sylvester Stallone, because he stole his idea and made it real life. I think they ought to wait till July 4th and let him fight Apollo Creed. That's who he should fight.
Yeah.
His next fight should be Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, okay.
And they should do it on July 4th. And it'd be like Apollo Creed against Rocky. Because they say art imitates life. Now we got life imitating art. Jake Paul is Rocky.
Houseway.
He need to fight because he's a nobody and he's going in there fighting. They need to let him fight. They need to let Jake Paul fight for the champion, the light heavyweight championship of the world on July 4th. And then let the champion wear red, white, and blue shorts. And Jake Paul just come in there and fight.
You want to ask something about that, Rodney?
Absolutely. I mean, you guys know I never agree with Fig, but this is kind of interesting, man, because they've been looking for the great white hype, and why not create one? Why not just create one? And he only fights black guys, and all of them were under him. If he makes the transition into real boxing and gets a win, he is the great white hype.
Yeah, he absolutely is. So, y'all, we're getting ready to start the next round, what we call rapid fire. My man, the business bully, this story kind of lines up more for you first, bro. So I'm going to put you out there first. So get ready. Here's the story. I don't know if you heard about this, but the NBA on Tuesday made an announcement. They are putting forward $25 million to former ABA players. The league made this announcement. According to the Indianapolis Star, they're going to pay literally $24.5 million in total. They're doing that because there's 115 players who played in the ABA at least 3 seasons who didn't qualify for the pension plan at all. I did the math. Yep. All right. If a player played at least 5 seasons, and they already earned $19,000 annually already, I did the math. Now each player is about to get $218,000 per player. Now let's not forget, most of these guys are 65 and above. So they're going to get, literally, once this deal closes, they're going to get $200,000. Do you think $218,000? Do you think for a person who's 65 plus, who played in the ABA, who didn't qualify for any of the pension plan in the NBA, you think this literally is good news for them? Or do you think the NBA is not playing enough? What's your thoughts on this, business bully?
Historically, it's a slap in the face, Frank. You know, like $218,000, and then that's not even adjusted for inflation. On top of that, the ABA was left threadbare because of the NBA merger. So when you factor in all of those things, that's like telling somebody, hey, you know what? The NFL is going to pay the guys that used to go work at grocery stores in the off season, you know, $218,000 when there's folks sitting on a bench getting $1.5 million. Like, you got to adjust for inflation, plus all that they lost, all that time. Like, I think if they're not walking away with at least $500,000 that they could have invested in some type of mutual fund, Roth IRA, or some type of aggressive stock type of option, then we're not really talking about anything. And yeah, by the way, they should give them back pay for healthcare.
Right. Tal, look like you want to throw something in on this. You want to say something about this, Pete?
He hit the nail on the head. You got to adjust somewhere. There has to be an adjustment made to make it make sense.
Right. All right. So T, since I got you up, man, here's the next NBA question, man. The NBA Board of Governors discussed the potential in-season tournament concept that would basically start literally this upcoming season. That's what they're looking at. and it's going to have all 30 teams participating with the Final Four type of thing. You know what I do? They do the bracket system. All the NBA players so far are on record saying they are against it because right now, the way it is now, you know how they already have this thing where they already have the thing about the final. They already do that. I don't even know what they call it. Phil, you're going to
the play-in.
Play-in tournament. They want to use the play-in and this to help and create excitement in the league. The NBA players themselves are against it. You as a fan, you're a huge fan, T. Would you like to see a potential in-season tournament with the play-in tournament, with the NBA championship? So now you're giving away these different type of things. How you like it? You're old school too, T. Talk to me. What you think?
I think it's a bit much. It might be a bit much. We can't even get these players to, like we was talking yesterday, join the dunk contest and All-Star Weekend festivities. Right. And now you're talking about giving them something extra to do with a tournament, with a men's season, real play-in tournament. I don't know how it's going to work, to be honest with you. I got to see the structure of how something like this would work during the season, because 82 games is a lot. And now you're talking about somewhere in there, we have a tournament like bracket style, like the NCAA. I can't see it, but maybe when I see it, I'll see it. But right now, you're asking a bit much.
Yeah, but Rodney Perry, what they're trying to do literally is they're trying to get people to stop taking games off. They're trying to have the people who like LeBron and AD and all, when us as fans, we go to the games, we sit there ready to see a game, and then we get there and LeBron's not playing tonight. They're trying to take all that off the table. So do you like the way they're coming up with this concept to take this off the table? Rodney, you like this?
I mean, it makes sense, but I get it. Here goes. The only thing that matters right now is the playoffs, and they're trying to make the regular season more valuable. And I don't know if this does it. Are you gonna force me to play? I mean, the reality is, as this sport gets more valuable and people get more guaranteed money and more millions of dollars, they're probably gonna play less and less, to be honest. And so, I would like to see if this makes a difference, but I don't think it will.
I don't think so either. And Fig, I'm gonna throw this out there to you and I asked you last purposely because you're a huge Knicks fan, right? If you're a Knicks fan and you're sitting on the sideline and you know the Knicks are out of it, let's say you know the Knicks are out of it. But with the in-season tournament, it basically pertains more to the lower-seeded teams and teams who aren't going to make the playoffs. Would this excite you to be able to see that your Knicks are going to play for something? They're going to play for something. Does that excite you?
No, because it's like I said yesterday when we was talking about like everybody gets a participation trophy. Either you good or you ain't. You know what I mean? And it puts a lot of wear and tear on the players. I mean, look, I think the players at some point you got to have a sense of pride about what it is that you do. And does this take the place of winning an NBA championship? It can't. I don't like it, man. I want to see the season stay where it is. I like the play-in tournament because I think that makes it important. The regular season games become important because you got to make that top 6. Now it's not the top 8. Right. You got to make the top 6, or you're going to be a one and done in the play-in tournament. Right. So I think that's enough. And if you really want to make it significant, then you got to do something in the collective bargaining agreement. And, you say, look, I'm paying you an astronomical amount of money. If you're not injured, I need you to play or get fined. Right. It's as simple as that.
Right. This season, this offseason, Adam Silver is getting ready to do something He's getting ready to do something that people aren't expecting. He came out yesterday and said a couple of things. One thing he said, I'm going to address right now. The rest of the couple of things I'm going to address in a second. But first thing he said was he does not like the fact that Kevin Durant is basically trying to force his way out while he's still got 4 years left on his contract. He wants to put in some kind of rules or regulations with the NBA players and the NBA Players Union that once you sign a contract, you're in it instead of forcing teams to force them to be traded. He doesn't know what he's going to do just yet. But and for those of you watching who don't understand, don't realize what's going on right now, this year is the new collective bargaining agreement the NBA players is getting ready to sign for this upcoming season. Adam Silver wants to add that right now while they're still talking about it. T, does this make sense? Do you see it happening, or you look at it like, you know what, it's too late now. The whole thing's already done. Well, I don't even want to put words in your mouth. What do you think happened?
Well, I think they should have been did this. I think I'm gonna say what I said before on a different show. That when that Stevie Francis thing happened, I think they should have jumped in and started making these stipulations, because that was a disgrace of all the people that's trying to work hard to get a job in the NBA, and for him to shite on it and say, "I'm not going to the team that picked me," right there would have gave me a inkling of the future. Like, you know what? We're about to go into a realm of people just making their mind, changing their mind of where they're going to play and when they're going to play. So that stipulation should have been came. You know, maybe on LeBron's second jump, team jump. You know, you should have been contemplating the future because people follow what the head does. The snake is only as strong as the head. So if LeBron's the face of the league and that's what he's doing, you got to know everybody behind him. It's like, you know what? We can do that. I'm gonna play 1 year here. I'm gonna play 2 years here. I'm gonna play here, and then half of these guys get into one little tiff or argument and trade me.
Yeah.
So I'm with it. I want to see people. I'm old school. It was something to be said about watching a guy do his whole career, Reggie Miller and the Kobe's with one team.
Yeah. Interesting take. Rodney Perry, some people are kicking back saying, this dude is trying to say this. Adam Silver is trying to side along the lines of the owners. That's what he's trying to do. People are saying that already. It hasn't even really got full tilt yet. Where you look at it from outside in, we don't work from them. We're just fans. You know what I mean? As a fan, what's your thought process when you hear Adam Silver make a statement like that?
Oh, well, I was thinking that as Talon was talking that this is the owners trying to maintain ownership. Because as the players get richer and richer, you got players, that are actively playing and are billionaires. You're gonna see more and more players in the owner capacity as history continues to write itself. So I believe the owners, as they are now, are trying to maintain their old school control. But we've seen over the last decade that the players are getting more and more control every year. And we might not like it right now, but I think at the end of the day, it's going to be to the benefit of the player to be able to control like the wear and tear on your body, the 100 and some games, the logos on the uniform, all that stuff make difference. And they'll be able to eat off of that stuff too for many, many years to come.
Fig, what's your thoughts?
My thing is that I get it. Now, y'all know I'm Fig X. So I'm all for the players, you know what I mean, having power. But then you got to look at the flip side too. The owners, the team itself can trade you whenever they get ready. So there's got to be a happy medium. If you don't want these guys moving around and you want them to stick to their contract, then how do you get to move them around? See, when we look at a trade, we're just looking at the players. Oh, this team gets that player, that team gets that player. What we don't take into consideration is this dude in the middle of a season has to uproot his entire family and move to another city. We don't take that into consideration as fans. We only see the player. We don't see the plethora of people that is under this player. He might have an uncle, an aunt, a cousin, mom, his wife, his kids. They all have to move to new schools. What about these players that's been on like 4 and 5 teams, 6, 7 teams, they're journeymen. You got to have some sort of stability on both sides. You can't just have all the power on the side of the owners and I don't like the players having power to move on their own, but you can trade them whenever you get ready. There was a story in the NBA where a player was sitting on one bench, got traded. The trade was finalized during the middle of the game, and he had to go sit on the other bench.
Yeah,
I'm like, come on, man. It's got to be some kind of balance because the owners already get half of the profit shares.
Yeah,
they get most of the money. What'd you say, Frank?
Right, Mike Sean's in the building too. Mike, thank you for joining the show. We appreciate you. Fig, we're gonna come back to this point too. I asked you that purposely, and I'm gonna show you why in just a second. But the business bully, Fig made a great point about the owners thing and everything else. Now, business bully, on the flip side of everything Fig said, right? What about the owners who lose all the money on the merchandise that they had to print with Kevin Durant's name on it now, he no longer plays for the Nets.
Well, there's this magical. You're absolutely right, Frank. The problem is there's this magical thing called insurance. There's also this magical thing called acceptable losses and accountants that write those off. The other part of this is the reason that these owners can go all willy-nilly is because there's a whole bunch of Negroes that'll go, oh, you know what? I'll sign up for that because I need to buy my mama a house. I need to go ahead and make these things happen. And that's what happens. When there's absolutely no competition for the NBA runs unopposed. And because they run unopposed, they can do whatever they want to do to these folks because for most people, and what did Biggie say in 92? You either have to sell crack rock or have a wicked jump shot. So for some of these cats, this is just what that is. So they're going to go along with it because what else they're going to do? We know if anybody's being honest here and has gone to college, we know that the majority of these players are skipped through school. So they can barely read.
Right.
Just keep it a buck.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. The show's called Box Seats. We do comics. We talk about sports. My man Mike Sean has joined the show. Mike, you get ready to start out this next round. Instead of me telling you about what we last talked about, here's the next topic for you to discuss, man. And I'm sure you probably heard it this morning, right? At the end of the day, we always talk about trades and who's getting ready to get traded and everything else. But I'm sure you heard that Donovan Mitchell is possibly going to be on the trade block by Utah Jazz and is sending out ripples throughout the league. Mike, when you hear Donovan Mitchell is possibly going to be on the trading block and Utah is accepting calls, what's your thought? What you like?
I think it's somebody in his prime that is going to be able to be moved to a team. Hopefully he'll get moved to the right team. Of course, we're New York fans, me, Talent, Fig. We're all New York fans, so we'd love to have him in New York City at his prime superpowers, like right now. And then you got to ask yourself, what are you going to give up? Like, it's probably going to be a Julius Randle trade. It's probably going to be some picks. The Knicks have a tremendous amount of picks. They got like 8 first-round picks that they can actually give out. I would love to have Donovan Mitchell in Madison Square Garden.
Mike, you there? Mike froze.
He's frozen.
Mike
froze. The NBA did that.
The NBA did that. All right, Fig.
Am I back? Am I back?
Yeah, he's back. He's back.
Go ahead, finish your thought process, Mike. Go ahead.
All right. So the only thing is that the evil empire in Miami, in South Beach, is trying to finagle their situation. So hopefully our front office can make it happen that Donovan Mitchell winds up in MSG and we have somebody other than Patrick Ewing for the first time in their prime, and we can get them there.
Yeah,
I hope. But
there it is. But Fig, the New York Knicks will be looking at a backcourt of Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell to start out the season if this trade goes through. Everything else now, as a huge New York Knicks fan, that's why I came to you second, bro. Talk to me, man. You know they do, like Mike said, they got a lot that they can trade for and everything else. But by adding him, it could make the team better. But you're losing a lot. Where are you at on the fence with this?
Well, I think you lose a couple of role players, possibly. I know Julius Randle would definitely be on the block. Maybe another player. Hopefully, hopefully you don't have to mortgage everything. Like I would hate to see a RJ Barrett go. That's one of the players that I think that we drafted that has really worked out for us, and we can see him improving every year. But if you have to give up a Julius Randle and maybe somebody else, another player that we picked up off a draft or something like that, a point guard, plus they want at least 4 draft picks, which we do have, first-round draft picks, because that's what they got for Rudy Gobert. They got a couple players and a ton of draft picks, and we have that to give. So
hey,
maybe
Fig,
that
we should give up Spike Lee for Donovan.
Yes. And his sister. We give Spike Lee and his sister
and Joy Lee too.
A role in his next movie.
Yes.
Yeah, but talent, I'm gonna say this, man. If Donovan Mitchell gets traded, right, to the New York Knicks, right? The part that's scary is Danny Ainge and the Utah Jazz will have if they get four first-round draft picks, they will have 8 first-round draft picks. Utah Jazz will have 8. I'll say it again: 8 first-round draft picks for upcoming season. I hate that personally. I hate it.
I don't really believe that this is real. I think this is one of those. test the water, be in the conversation situations, because I really struggle to believe that you get rid of Rudy and you're going to trade Donovan to start to do what, rebuild, start over with draft picks and everything.
But that's what Danny Ainge did. Talent with
Yeah,
Boston. That's what
Yeah,
he
he did that
did.
with Boston. That's why they're in the
yeah,
It's the
position.
same
yeah,
thing.
and he learned, and he learned,
And they wanted.
and he learned. No, he when they won, back when they won, look back when they won, and look at the rebuild after that. So, do this team who's is seemingly been rebuilding the last decade at least, right? So, how long Karl Malone's been gone? And Stockton. So since then, seemingly, this has been a team of rebuilding. Am I right? They've done made no big splashes, made no deep moves into the playoffs and stuff like that. Right now, with the progress from the last 2 or 3 seasons, do we really think that they're ready to take that dive again? I don't know. I think this is a be in the conversation, see what's out there type of thing.
Okay.
Let
me get Rodney Perry's thought process. And Rodney, where you at with this, bro? Utah Jazz have it on the flip side. They will have, if the Utah Jazz literally get for Donovan Mitchell what we think they're going to get, 3 or 4 first-round draft picks. They're going to have 8 first-round draft picks in this upcoming season, or maybe it'll be broken up for the next 2 years. And what Talent said is one thing, but on the flip side of it, I'm looking at it like he literally rebuilt them like how he did the Celtics. Like he built the Celtics team as they are now. You know what I mean? And the Celtics made it to the finals last year, and he did it within 5 years. So, what's your thought process, Rodney Perry? Where you at? What side?
I mean, it's tough for these middle of the road teams to stay together. We're seeing it in Portland, we're seeing it in Utah, and if you go 5 years, 6 seasons without a chip, you force a GM to kind of rebuild, and I think that's what we're seeing. And so whether it's Denver, whether it's and these teams with great players, but those players gonna have to hit the road, Jack, because you can't stay there. You know what I mean? And so I think that's what we're seeing, whether it's the benefit of the ownership or the benefit of the player. You know, if you don't win, and that's the occupational habit of being in the era with great players like Steph and LeBron. You know, that means somebody is not gonna get a chip, and that's somebody look like it could be a Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, I think so too. But the financial, again, here I go with the financials of this. I'm bringing up for the financials. Is my man, the business bully. You trade away your cornerstone to get. You're gonna take a hit. I think. I don't know. How do you look at this business bully? How you look at it?
I mean, my whole thing is there are times when I will like take a hit right now, but I know long term I'm going to make more money. This is a situation where if you do this and you play it right, that money can go to other players and build up a foundation type of situation. But if not, like, what is we talking about?
Right.
Are we talking about chips?
Right.
We can't be talking about chips unless it's sour cream and onion, Cool Ranch, something like that. Because I ain't seen nothing in his future. Not unless he move. So,
y'all, you're watching a show called Box Seats. Fig, you're up. Okay, get ready to throw out you the first question.
I just want to put in one little tidbit, Frank. There's a player, I can't remember his name, in college right now that NBA teams are salivating over. He's supposed to be in the next draft. And I think that's what Utah might be trying to do. They might be trying to clear what they have now, get enough picks so that when this kid is available next year, they're going to grab him. Because I forget the name, but I've been hearing a lot of people talking about this phenom that's coming out of college next year. That's all I want to say.
And Fig, real quick, that's how they got Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown off the trade with Kevin Garnett. Like, Danny Ainge knows what he's doing. Like, he knows what he's doing. Like Steph Curry was drafted. Draymond was drafted. Everybody gets so caught up in, like, we're going to get this free agent. But actually, the basis of these dynasties are based on drafting.
Right.
Sorry, my bad. Sorry.
No, sorry. Fig, you up, man. So here we go. I don't know if you guys saw the trailer for this, right? I don't know, coming to you specifically, Fig, because it's about LeBron James. In the trailer for his latest show called The Shop, he was dismayed about Brittany Griner. He was talking about that. He said, now, how can you feel like America has her back? He said, I'd be feeling like, do I even want to go back to America? It's causing a lot of ripples you know what I mean? And LeBron James people who are dissidents about LeBron James, they're like, see, you know, like people are upset about this. When you hear that quote, how are you feeling about LeBron James speaking up for Brittany Griner and America right now, and dissing America at the same time? Where you at on this?
You know, the thing is that, you know, people call me a LeBron hater, and it's not really the truth. The truth of the matter is he spoke his mind, and on this instance, he's right. I mean, look, I say that Black Americans are probably one, if not the, probably top loyal people to the United States of America. We fought in every war. We put this country on our back. We built it for free. We got nothing for it, and we're still treated like second-class citizens. He spoke everything well. If you're a well-to-do person and you have enough money where you can live somewhere else abroad and comfortably, because we know the United States is also one of the most expensive countries to live in the world. If you can live somewhere else comfortably without a target on your back and you've been treated a certain way, then I don't see what's wrong with looking at another place as an option. On top of that, we have more gun violence and people murdered in this country than any other country on this planet. So if you're going to look at another place as an option, I don't see anything wrong with that. Now, I know the American public is going to kill LeBron James because they hate the truth. People in America, we hate the truth, but he spoke it here.
T, where you at on this, man? How are you feeling? You feel like what LeBron James said made sense, or you know, because he literally said his quote was, "I'd be, you know, now how can she feel like America has her back? I'd be feeling like, do I even want to go back to America?" Kind of sounded like, you know.
This is why I'm not a LeBron fan when it comes to stuff like.
God.
Who said that?
You know who said it.
Go ahead.
Who made that background noise? If I need a background singers and dancers, I put it in the paper, put an ad out. Just stop hating the hater. But this is exactly why. This is the part of him I don't like. It's crazy because I got a hate-love relationship with the man. You know, I love him, what he does, he brings to the table in the basketball. I love his greatness. I love him as a man, as a black man. But he's horrible at politics. Either shut up or say something important. It seemed like he was going to say something important, and then he followed up that with, "But I love my beautiful country." You can't say that and say that. If you're taking that stance, for it to be effective, you have to mean that. You have to say, "Hey, man, I don't think she want to come back. I would doubt my country right now. I don't think you fight hard enough for me." And you leave it at that. Let that sit out there. Let that sink in, because everybody's listening. You can't follow up with. I used to hate this about Will. Me and Will were partners at Comedy Club, and he would hit somebody with a good ass snap or handle a heckler, and then right after that, when the crowd goes to the rubber, he apologized. I said, "You can't hang with me, man. If you're gonna snap, you're gonna snap. You can't hit a dude with a zinger and go, I'm just playing with you. I did that. You took the oomph right out of the heat." So he said something profound, or at least we thought it was, and then he followed up with, but I love my beautiful country." You can't do that, bro. Either you are on the side of the country or you calling your country out for dragging their feet and being wrong, which is what the case is, and we all agree on when it comes to Brittany Griner. Am I correct? We all agree that our country looks like, the perception is, you're dragging your feet and you're caring less about this individual. Because what's the first thing we all said? "Oh, if it was LeBron, if it was Larry Bird over there, or Sue Bird, they're going to go hard." That's what we all said. So finally, the face of the league says something, and he throws a pillow underneath it to cushion the country's fall for the flack. I got to call him out of it.
Rodney Perry, he came up though and said something though. Rodney Perry, LeBron James came out and said something for Brittany Griner, and just like Talon said, people were waiting for him to say something. He ain't said nothing about it. What's your take, Rodney?
I mean, say what you want to say about America. You can only say stuff like we're saying in America. You can't go somewhere else in the world and live and talk about the country. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of interesting. LeBron was definitely being a bit diplomatic. I hear talent on that front. the shut up and play thing that never sits right with me. But I mean, this era of player is way more in touch with social situations, and so they were all pressed early on not to even talk about it, and now they're being allowed to talk about it across the board. So you're seeing LeBron and a lot of other players chiming in. The State Department advised them to stay out of it because they said they had it, but here we are 5 months later, and the girl is still over there. I think it's posturing to help her get released, and that's why LeBron was able to kind of waffle a little bit.
Mike, your thought?
My thoughts is I'm the biggest LeBron James fan. I'm the biggest. I think Michael Jordan is an amazing person, but none of y'all built like Muhammad Ali.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Point blank. None of y'all built like Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali stood up against the country and stood right there and said, I'm not going to fight these Vietnamese people who ain't never done nothing to me. And I'm not built like that. I'm not going to speak for the other guys on the panel. I'm not built like that. There was only one person built like that. Was Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
I love LeBron James on the basketball court. But you ain't built to go against the country because you still want to be affiliated with everything that goes on that makes you a billionaire.
Right.
And Muhammad Ali was like, I'm good. Take everything from me.
Right.
That's my opinion on it.
Dave, what's your take?
I just want to be clear. Did at any time did LeBron James or Rich Paul on his behalf go to Croatia and say, "Hey, LeBron would like to play for you"? Did he go to Spain? Did he go over to Frankfurt, Germany, and start looking at the possibilities of bringing King James over to the home of the Bratwurst? Hell no, he didn't. Right? The truth of the matter is this dude is not Jim Brown. This dude is not Muhammad Ali. This dude is not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. This dude flip-flops wherever the wind takes him or wherever, the folks take him. Because after that woman on Fox News told him, shut up and dribble, he's been real quiet. And then, by the way, if LeBron really wanted to do something, if we just talk about a money thing, for example, LeBron could easily go to the government and say, listen, I'm willing to go over here and do a bunch of goodwill games with a team of all-stars that will follow me anywhere and they can keep all the profits, all the money. I will do deals, commercials, whatever, so we can get this girl out. You sitting on your comfortable Warner Brothers AT&T sponsored barbershop show talking about, we should stop. You are fake. You are a fraud. You are a sucker to the game. You are doing nothing. An activist, you are not, sir. Stop it.
And real quick, Frank, I'm not saying that I'm built to do that. So what I'm asking LeBron to do is not what I may be built to do. I'm not going to speak for the rest of the guys on here. Right. When I bring up Muhammad Ali, I bring up somebody who did something that I don't think I was built to do. So sorry about that.
No, it's cool. That's cool. Next round, get ready to start, man. The challenge, it's your turn to be first. And you get ready to kick off this NFL question, man. So my NFL question, I'm getting ready to start the NFL round of rapid fire questions is for you. First one I'm going to ask up is, can the 49ers mend their relationship with Deebo Samuel before, and I'll say it again, before training camp starts in 5 days? T, what you think?
Well, first of all, I love this beautiful country. And with that being said, anything possible, Frank. This is America.
Right.
I thought that was talent. He sound like Don King.
But that's the tone that I hear when I hear people say soft stuff like that. I don't know. I think so. Because here's the thing about football. Football, those players in their off seasons, they work out probably a little bit, if not a lot more than other sports. Right. Other sports really take their time off. We've seen as soon as LeBron lost and didn't make the playoffs, he was in Cancun for 2 months.
Right.
So these guys really enjoy their time off. Football, high-profile football players, they don't have that luxury, man. So I think that he'll be ready. I think the team also knows what they're getting into. I think everybody's going to be ready. And I think in a short period of time, yeah, they can be ready to make some noise together.
All right. So, Mike Sean, the question for you, you're second. Can Mike McCarthy make it with the Cowboys this year, or is it a make or break it season if he doesn't get them at least further along in the playoffs this year? So basically, is Mike McCarthy in the make or break it season with the Dallas Cowboys? Mike, what you think?
I hope he fails.
Wow.
Not because of any educated guess or anything, but I just hope Mike McCarthy fails. I love Dak Prescott. But I hope he fails.
Yeah,
I hope they fail tremendously. I hope Ezekiel Elliott fails tremendously. I hope the whole team fails. Yeah. Now, it does worry me. It does worry me that nobody's giving them preseason hype. Because when you give the Cowboys preseason hype, normally they fail. Now everybody's like, the Eagles look like they're probably going to win the NFC East. And, the Giants think everybody's going to win the NFC East other than the Giants. But I hope they fail. So go to the next square.
All right, Rodney Perry. Trey Lance. Do you think the 49ers is going to be able to justify the trade for them to get Trey Lance? Do you think that's going to work out for the 49ers? Or do you think Trey Lance is going to finally get his start and be a bust and people are going to be mad that Jimmy G's out? What do you think, RP?
I mean, it's easy to Monday morning quarterback a decision like that, but you got to go with the young boy right now. Jimmy G, got him to the playoffs last year, but, he should go model somewhere. You know what I'm saying? He's a great-looking guy.
Wait. I'm sorry. Excuse me. What should he do, Uncle Rodney?
He should go model somewhere. I mean, he's a great-looking guy, and I don't know if he wants us in his playbook. But again, you get to kind of do that in America. You get to kind of move around and find your way. So
it's a beautiful country.
But you out of here.
Dave, it's your turn up, man. The Chicago Bears ended up making a trade for N'Keal Harry for a 7th-round draft pick for the New England Patriots. The Chicago Bears is now putting N'Keal Harry with Justin Fields, and Justin Fields is looking like Chicago might be able to do something. I purposely didn't ask, fan favorite on the panel of the Chicago Bears question because I didn't want the fan, I wanted to get a reality check here. Mm-hmm. So do you think N'Keal Harry going to the Chicago Bears is going to help them with their offense? Because their wide receivers didn't seem like to be the problem. I don't think.
Can we just we're just not going to talk about it? We're just not going. Frank, it's just me and you. Forget everybody else. It's me and you. We're not going to talk about the elephant in the room, and I'm not talking about me. Why are we not talking about the lackluster, cracktastical, horrible, I could do better with a busted arthritic knee offensive line that is making up the Chicago Bears O-line? I just want to know, because what good is a wideout? What good is a quarterback if there's nobody there to block?
I knew you was going to say that.
I just want to know. There's nobody. Okay, so I'm just the weirdo who's just going to bring up the truth. I get it. No, that's why you kidding me. Like, it's fine. It's fine. I know what my position on this show is.
I knew you was going there. Fig, the Buffalo Bills now, like I said for the last couple of days, people are expecting them wholeheartedly to make it to the Super Bowl. The Buffalo Bills, everybody, what people aren't talking about is Buffalo Bills lost their offensive coordinator, who was supposedly one of the prime reasons they've done what they've done for years. Do you think losing their offensive coordinator is going to send a ripple in Buffalo at all? You see anything?
It really all depends on who they got to replace him. If they got somebody, that is worth their salt. I mean, the guy that was the offensive coordinator in Buffalo wasn't the only offensive coordinator in the NFL. And I just on the last question, man, I just think that Kim Fields ought to be ashamed of herself marrying that young boy. Kim Fields is a cougar, and she should have left Justin Fields alone.
Wait. And he took her last name? He took her last name, man? Well, you take the good, you take the bad, you take the bad, and then you have Justin Fields.
That's not what happened at all.
That's not it. Was Mrs. Garrett at the wedding? Was Mrs. Garrett at the wedding?
Garrett was
Did we
at the
find out
wedding,
if
but it wasn't
was
Kim.
Blair
That
there?
was what happened. All right, Rodney
No,
Perry.
no.
I'm going to start out with you, man. The next round, man. All right, so here we go, Rodney Perry. Where am I at?
Right after
Jamarcus
Tim
Russell.
Fields.
You're a
Jamarcus
big
Russell.
joke.
Jamarcus Russell came out yesterday and he said he was dealt a bad hand by the Raiders. We all know right now, people are saying he's the biggest bust in the NFL ever had. He had a huge contract with the Raiders. Everything else, people are talking about he was dependent on drugs and everything else. Do you think Jamarcus Russell is the biggest all-time bust the NFL ever had? Or do you think him when he said that he was dealt a bad hand with the Raiders at the time? What you think?
No, man. They always shape you as a villain, when post career, and we've seen this time and time again. The NFL is going to protect their shield at all costs, and they'll demonize you. The NFL will demonize you on how you looking crazy, and meanwhile, guys that smack their wives in the mouth get nothing.
Interesting take on that. Talent, do you think Tua is going to save his job? Do you think Tua is going to be around? Because now, Miami Dolphins made a huge. They got a lot of stuff that happens this year. They got Tyreek Hill. They it's a make or break it year for them too. I think. What you think?
Well, it depends on if he smacked his mother in the mouth. First of all, if you smack your mother in the mouth, you're out of there right away. I think he got this year. I think this is the biggest judgmental year for him. Do or die, whether he stays with the organization. But I think they give him this season, Frank. In my heart of hearts, I think they give him this season because now you got things that came in there. You got the proper changes that happen. It's yours to lose. You know what I mean? Moon or bust right now. So when you lose or have a losing season and you got things you can point to that ain't you, then they go, okay, give you the benefit of the doubt. But right now, he's in it. This is his ninth inning. You knock it out the park, you get the save, you win the game, you get to stay. If not, and don't get it twisted. They might not wait a whole 17 games.
Right. Mike Sean, Frank Wright, head coach now of Indianapolis Colts. He's going to be on his second QB in 2 years. Make a break a season for him if he don't do it with Indianapolis Colts. What's your thoughts?
I mean, he won a championship with Nick Foles.
Right.
So, they're giving him, I hate to be, look, I'm going to be Fig right now. He's a white dude who has experience in the NFL. This is not a make or break year. Jameis Winston, it's a make or break year. But for him, it's not a make or break year. He's going to be just fine. He's going to have another job in there, and he'll be fine. It's not a make or break year, and it's because he's white. Yeah, I want to say one more time. It's because he's white.
It's interesting you said that because I was getting ready to go to the Saints with Fig, but Fig, you're up. So Fig, is it a make or break it season for Jameis Winston? Because this would be like his third go round. And if he doesn't make it, or if he has an injury and everything else, you think that's it for him? Or will he get a couple more shots?
He's a black quarterback.
Wow.
And listen, the best thing that he could do is stay healthy. Because last year he did exceptionally. He was 5-1. He did exceptionally well until he got injured. Now we lost his coach. There might be some changes in the team. There might be some changes in the playbook. We don't know if they're going to be as efficient as they were before. You know what I mean? So this is probably his last shot. He'll be hanging out with my man with the big hats and the scarves if he don't do well this year.
Cam
Rodney Perry.
Cam Newton.
He's talking about Cam Newton. Rodney Perry. Cam Newton is supposed to be getting a flyer for the Raiders. The Raiders are supposed to be taking a flyer out on Cam Newton. No,
it's actually a flyer. It's not a flyer. It's a flyer. There's a flyer getting pushed around. I saw it in South Jersey. It was a flyer that had him on there. It wasn't a flyer. The actual flyer.
That's what it was, Mike. Okay, that's what it was. Well, anyway, Cam Newton on the Raiders, you like it? What's your thought process? You think Cam? Does that look say it all, Rodney Perry? What you got?
Look, man, I'm surprised Cam still got a job, man. And I know Mike Sean has been saying it, and but I ended up on a flight with the guy, and he had a hat on, and his hair was coming out the top of the hat, and the guy just makes bad decisions, and that's kind of the nuts and the bolt of it. To cut a hole in a beautiful hat and to pull your hair through it just speaks volumes to the type of human being you're dealing with, man. And but at the same time, I respect the guy. He has a beautiful lady that caters to his every whim, and that's what it's about, man. I got a wife that don't listen to me at all, and Cam Newton has got a woman that goes out her way to anticipate what he needs and wants. I don't know about y'all, but I'm looking for that. Cam Newton is both a horrible human being and a great leader, and you got to respect that.
All right, so last round of questions because the time is just about up there. I want to ask you all this Judge question. I'm gonna start with the biggest Yankee fan on the panel, my man Talent. Man, talk to me, man. Talent. People are saying that Aaron Judge is the whole run as I this my man Cam Newton. See, you like Aaron Judge not being in the home run derby?
No, not at all. I watched the game last night, man. And to watch the Yankees end off that 4-3 loss last night, part of that was Judge's problem, man. He let that last strikeout, man. I'm like, it's little moments like this is why people do the stupid little decisions, and then we fight them. And he shouldn't have been left off this decision and all that. I can see it, man, because everything's fluctuating up and down, man. You heard Rodney. You know what it is about the hats, the scarf.
Yeah, I definitely heard that. So the show's just about over. Y'all got anything y'all want to talk about? Like, I mean, in the sense of what you guys got going on this upcoming weekend. Rodney Perry, I'm gonna start with you, bro. I know you got something jumping off, as always.
Well, I just got back home this morning, man. Shot a few scenes in a movie last night. It's a stoner movie, hence the stoner shirt. Chronic sewer, and I got some weed. I don't even smoke, but I'm gonna try it today.
Okay. I'll let y'all know. Right. Talent, you got a lot. I saw the flyer. Talent. I don't know who your flyer maker is, but this person be pumping out flyers every 5 minutes. T.
Like a no limit record label.
On top of the game, you see Rodney doing movies, get paid in weed. You know what I'm saying? That's $2,000 a weed. I know weed when I look at that. It's beautiful. This weekend is going down tomorrow, actually, Thursday, I'll be in Columbus, Ohio, kicking off a new room with Mark Gregory, Dick Gregory's nephew. He's starting something monthly out there. And then I'll come back with a doubleheader Sunday.
Is that the Funny Bone?
Nah, I got to look at the new venue he got, because, he's from Toledo, or the other side.
Like Dayton, I believe.
Yeah. So he's going over to Columbus. To do this thing is going to be once a month Thursday. Then I come back doubleheader on Sunday. I got my comedy brunch in Jersey, and then I go out to Philly later that night at the Met Theater with Tommy Too Smooth and a bunch of Philly cats doing the Met Theater.
There. Mike Sean, are you still in New York area?
Yeah, I'm in Jersey. I just love that when Rodney Perry says he'll say shit like, I'm just auditioning to be the new Barry Gordy in a new movie, but it'd be so casual. You're like, oh, okay, you're doing better than me.
Right, we get it.
Not true, Mike Sean. It's not true. Let me tell you something. Look at your hair and look at my hair, and then we can stop right there.
Listen, with the money you make it off of Coming to America royalties, you can buy hair, sir.
Yeah, but I love everybody. So Saturday, I got something going on Saturday. I have no idea where I'm going to be Saturday. Sunday is the brunch that Talent got me doing. So we're rocking out at Mike Sean Comedy. I don't know where I'm at Saturday, but it's supposed to be crazy. And they sent the deposit. And the deposit already came in. So I was like, all right, cool.
That's the best commercial ever. Y'all know where the people, it's going to be crazy. Fine.
It's going to be crazy.
That's all. It's going to be crazy.
Hey, listen, I am having so much fun doing this, but this show here is evidence how good God is, because Rodney has been so blessed with work. And then on the other side, he have a wife that don't listen to him. That just shows the balance of God.
Yeah.
God is
Yeah.
good.
God is
really
good.
does.
That's all about.
It really
God
does.
is
The
good.
business bully, talk to me, bro.
That's all about.
Man, everything is everything right now. I got some private clients to attend to, some stuff like that. Real quick, yeah, I'm with Rodney Perry. My wife don't listen to me either. We're all looking for Cam Newton's reverse babyface book coming out soon because that child's like, I'll fold his clothes, I'll rub his feet, I'll
Right,
cook his
right.
dinner too. Cam don't need to be in the league. He's already the MVP of his house. Me and Rodney Perry trying to figure out what the hell we went wrong with.
And since my wife is here today, I'm not saying nothing. I don't even have
No, you don't say nothing. She
No
looked like she
comment.
hit hard, Frank. She looked like she hit. She
I
ran
hate
bro.
when you whip out like that, Frank. I hate when you
You
do
don't
knock
that.
our
normally wear
shirts
them
off.
colors. She
Y'all
made
come
you
down
put
on
that
LeBron and y'all ain't gonna say nothing about that?
She made you put that shirt on. Like,
Hey,
look
Frank,
at the colors.
Frank finally got his laundry back.
Frank's might be dressing him like his third grade picture
On
day.
another note, does Fig have to have a new barber? I don't like the way they're doing your hair lately.
Why? It look like he swallowed a football? Is that what it is?
No, Frank, that's not what I
He
was
looks like the
saying.
incredible edible egg. Like right now, they're
saying-
casting for Amazon
Fig
Prime
used
live
to have,
action.
Fig used
Humpty
to have
Dumpty,
Michael
fix that
Sean's
guy.
hair, and now this guy is cutting him too close, and I don't like it.
All right, before I say
Anyway,
this,
y'all, that's the show. That's
before I
happens.
say this, I want to say pause. I agree with Rodney.
Y'all, we out of here. We out of here. That's the name of the show. It's called Box Seats. Tomorrow is my man coming up tomorrow. T, is he?
Yes, sir.
Here?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Tomorrow, the one and only head coach, LIU, Rod Strickland, baby.
There it is. Tomorrow o'clock. See y'all. Peace.